Welcome, fellow gamers.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollers.local.com. We should probably get a vanity URL for that. Hey, everybody, I'm Stuttering Craig. Good to see you. Welcome on out. Man, we got a good one today. Happy Thursday to you. Here every single day for your enjoyment and to hang out. Glad you joined us. Hello, Blabs. Good to see you.
Hi. It's Thursday. I'm happy.
How's that? Yes, it sure is, Blabs.
Listen, my phone turned off on me this morning. Didn't set my alarm because my phone was off. So I slept in by 30 minutes and I'm okay with it.
Good for you. Good for you. Sometimes it's good to nap, you know?
Yes.
A little bit, right?
I don't like that Samsung decided to turn off my phone on me. I look at it, I'm like, what time is it? It's like 100%. 100%. I'm like, what do you mean? And it was off.
First world problems right there.
Yeah.
I love it. Good for you, Blabs. Well, we're glad you made it. For all your struggles.
My first world struggle.
Let me tell you something who doesn't struggle. Eric from You, Me, and the Movies. Good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm great, buddy. I'm great. Looking
Morning.
sharp as always. Looking good. How are you? Did you struggle to get up?
No, I've had my coffee now, so I am good to go.
Yeah. Everybody has to have that little sip of caffeine in the morning. Labs, are you a coffee goer? You like coffee?
I drink a little espresso that's mostly milk.
Okay. So you drink milk.
You get coffee with your milk?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I have like 2 of those a day. So I have it when I wake up, and then I have one actually after stream.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. You know, I'll be interested to find out if this gentleman is a coffee drinker as well. Joining us for the first time on the show, the Cod Father himself. God, that's such a fucking great name. Blame Truth. How are you, man?
Pretty good. My coffee makers constantly get ants in them. I've had to throw out like 3, so I try to enjoy coffee, but it usually doesn't happen.
How does that happen? What is it on the ant pile or what?
Like ants just get in and then they go for the coffee maker. I don't know why. Every single time. It's just, yeah.
Do you enjoy the coffee?
I do enjoy it when I can have it ant free. Yeah. But that's I'm just cursed or something. I don't know.
The ant-free coffee is the best kind of coffee.
Exactly. I just got an energy drink today. So yeah. No coffee.
I personally try to avoid. I don't like coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. I do like the effects of caffeine though. And I've kind of my daily routine. I've gotten to the point where about 30 minutes before the show, I have some caffeine, about 200 milligrams of caffeine from like an energy drink or something. Gets me going right about now, and I'm pretty good. And I can coast for about 90 minutes. And about 90 minutes into the show, you see an immediate drop off of energy as my artificially inflated energy is gone. So, well, look, we're glad you joined us. Real quick, people may not know who you are, so please tell everybody what you do and your specialty and everything.
I yell at Call of Duty. Currently, I'm playing xDefiant as well. That just came out. I like that game a lot, which is rare because I don't like a lot of stuff. So you know it's good if I actually like it. And I've been doing this since 2000. I'd say 2007, 2008. Yeah, 2007, 2008. It's been doing it a long time. So
that's why they call you, as I said, the Cod Father. So if everybody would do what I'm going to do right now and head on over to youtube.com/@blametruth. You can find link in the description. Do what I'm going to do. Scroll your little mouse over and hit the subscribe button. You get that nice little thing right there and continue to grow. And if you want Call of Duty information, you got your source right here, which is great. So, all right. Well, look, we got a great show today, guys. I'm glad everybody's here. I would like to remind everybody we are live in addition to YouTube over on rumble.com/sidescrollers. Join us over there as we continue to grow every single day. No help from YouTube, no help from Rumble. We just continue to grow. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it grows organically.
That's right. Sure is. Also, you can watch the show over on X at x.com/sidescrollerpod. And you could have found out that Eric and BT, we're going to be on the show today. If you just follow us at sidescrollerpod. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips out of the show. Otherwise, no sandwiches. And by the way, I made an amazing sandwich this morning. So.
Oh, really? Hold on. Stop. What sandwich did you make?
All right, so it's fresh bread, right? A little roll, turkey, mayonnaise, chips, and pickles.
Chips on the sandwich.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good play. Good play. Yeah. Everyone here agree that chips on the sandwich is the quality?
You know, I thought it was weird, but like my girlfriend's British and they do that all the time there. So I tried it. I'm like, okay, that's.
I mean, I do French fries and actual potato chips. So yeah, it depends on what you mean by chips, because British.
Yeah, they do it. But they do both. They do.
Yeah,
both. They'll put every kind of carb on a sandwich they can. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chat, your thoughts on chips on the sandwich? The irony is I actually don't do sandwiches very often. I actually don't do breakfast very often before the show. But today, Blabs, I also made a sandwich, which was very
peanut butter and jelly.
No, come on, I'm not 12. Although that does sound good. It does sound great. No, you know what I made? I made a chicken meatball marinara, like panini type thing press. It was great.
You should have put Parmigiano Reggiano inside of it.
Nah, it was stinky cheese. It was the crappy stinky cheese. You know what I mean? It's like the kind that you get in the big green container, the Parmesan cheese that you put on top.
That's not Parmesan. That's Parmesan. That's like the South American discount shit. How could you?
My bad. The kind you get at every single Italian restaurant in the world.
Yeah. News.
I would love if you went into Italian restaurant, Blabs, and when they presented you with the Parmesan, you were like, get this fake Brazilian shit.
Dude, I don't like it's because Italy's stupid and they didn't put like the copyright protection for Parmigiano Reggiano, and so everybody else copies it, but it's not actually.
I didn't know that. I'm learning a lot about cheese here.
Oh yeah.
I'm a cheese guy. I like all cheese, so I like the cheap stuff. I like the more fancy stuff.
I'll fix you. It's fine. I'll help you out.
Well, we are
Gorgonzola. Let's go.
Gorgonzola. Ooh, come on.
No?
But I will say this, BT, you have stumbled on the cheese authority in the video game space.
Nice.
when you came on this podcast, you didn't realize how important cheese was to her. It's crazy. That would be fun to do, actually. When you bring you down here to Dallas, Blabs, for our week of
go to the grocery store. Bullshit. Bullshit. Excellent.
You're gonna leave 10 pounds heavier than when you came here. I promise you that. We're just gonna keep shoving food in your face. It's gonna be great. With all that said, if you do love cheese, you can also watch us over on at Kick. There's a lot of cheese over there at kick.com/sidescrollers, or you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Find us over there. Give us a nice 5-star review. If you don't want to see our faces, you can listen to us every single day, which is great. And you can, of course, find us once again over at sidescrollers.locals.com. But, of course, if you're new to us over on YouTube, it's your first time tuning in, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, join the 83,500 common sense lovers of video in the video game and entertainment space. We would greatly appreciate that as we continue to grow a little bit more every single day. Let's do our best to get our goal of 900 likes and, of course, 25 memberships every single stream. But Blabs, I would be remiss here on D-Day. 80 years ago today, the world was saved as the wonders, the men who are far greater than any one of us today stormed the beaches of Normandy here on D-Day. And I just want to say that's awesome. But I would also be remiss to not also mention that it is Pride Month. And here on D-Day, make sure you show your American pride. Go pick a shirt up. And in the link down below at the store, available this month through July 4th. Go pick it up right now with your American pride. Would really appreciate that. We want to sell them about 1.5 million of those. So if you guys would go pick them up, that'd be great. And give it up for X-Mobius1, who picked one up after hours. Said, from an old school G1 during the Screw Attack days, I'm happy to support you and show off my American pride. Godspeed, Craig. Thank you very much. And BCZ picked up an American Pride t-shirt. It says, America. Thanks for everything, Craig. Been following you since Screw Attack many more years ago. Thank you very much. appreciate that. Appreciate the sport and go America. So yeah, like we said, we got a big show today. Lots going on. We're going to dig into Call of Duty in a major way. Kind of what happened to Call of Duty, what is happening, and the ongoing. It's like Play-Doh, the constant morphing of this brand that we all loved, and now we have no idea what's happening in it, or at least from the outsider. But yes, we're off to a great start. As Red Eye came in as a member for 3 months, says of all the collabs with COD, I never thought I would see the biggest mecha franchise of all time. That's right, talking about the Gundam stuff. So thanks, Red Eye. And Josh Rush came in and says, let's go. Yes, let us go. Peter came in and says, the British even have sugar sandwiches. The British are truly culinary masters. What is this? BT, what is a sugar sandwich? Does your girlfriend know what this is?
I don't think so. I can ask her, but I have seen her literally just like mix just any kind of sweet thing. They have like sugar tax there. So anything sweets, like, in America, she is all over it. I've seen her put maple syrup on like peanut butter. I'm not sure about sugar sandwiches necessarily. Like, I've never heard of that, but anything sweet, they usually eat it up because, the sugar tax is pretty invasive from what I understand.
When you say a sugar tax, you mean like to eat sugar, you have to pay money?
I think it's like an import tax or something. I'm not even really sure, but like their sodas and stuff have less sugar. It's like half the sugar of ours.
That's why nothing tastes good.
Yeah. That's why they eat beans on toast. Like they gotta numb the palate or something. I don't know, but
numb it up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever been over to Europe over there and tried that?
I have not, because it's hard to get a dog sitter that I trust. So I usually, like, she usually comes here, but I don't know. Just back like to the Call of Duty thing, D-Day and stuff like that. Call of Duty Vanguard, I recall they had some massive censorship, and they did, in any World War II game, usually gives you the facts. This one in multiplayer, I remember it had my team versus the enemy team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's heavily censored. Not a authentic World War II experience, we'll say.
That's what they called it, my team versus the other team. It wasn't
remember. No, none of that. No factions, no countries, nothing. Just my team versus the enemy team. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking that up. That's so funny.
You should be able to find a screenshot.
Or funny stuff.
Yeah,
love it. Tomac came in with the 20. Says, Craig, have you had a chance to look at Nightmare Cart yet? That game got renamed from Bloodborne Cart. No, I have no idea what this is. Blabs, have you ever heard of this? Eric, you ever heard of this? BT?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No. Blabs, do a little digging here. Nightmare Cart. See if you can
Like
find that.
I'm Mario Kart kind of game.
That would be my guess. Thanks, Tomac. Really appreciate your support today. That's with the massive 20. Thrash, if I came in with a 5, says Hellcat. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Sorry I butchered your name. Justin Hart came in with 5 memberships. That's outstanding. Thank you so much, Justin. Way to go. If you guys got a gifted membership, make sure you guys say thank you. And I get to add to our new counter behind me here. Look at that. The numbers get to go up. It takes a few seconds to register, but I'm going to put 5 up on the counter behind me because that represents new memberships on the channel. Excellent. Thank you very much. Prometheus came in with a 5. Says Gundam skins and COD is desperation. COD is dead since Modern Warfare 1 and 2 OG and Black Ops. That'll be a big part of the conversation today for sure. And Zach came in and says, howdy, y'all. Eric, you want to give him a howdy?
Howdy.
There you go.
That was a good howdy. Wow.
Listen, you don't even understand what you're about to witness here. You don't even get it. You're gonna get.
Eric's like, do I know?
Oh yeah, he does.
What did I sign up for today?
Eric's a big part of our show every day, even when he's not on the show. And you'll see here in a minute.
Nice.
Josh came in and says, awesome British food. Jacket potato, like a baked potato without the baked beans, or with baked beans. Or you can put tuna and corn in it. Surprisingly delicious. No, nothing about that sounds good.
Tuna in a potato?
Ugh.
No thanks.
That sounds like a nightmare, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, speaking of nightmares, I found the nightmare cart. Transition.
Oh, nice.
This is it. It looks kind of weird.
So
Looks
it's
like
a
I just came out yesterday.
It's like a scary Mario Kart.
okay.
Zoom through gothic streets in the horror-themed vehicular combat racing game.
Huh.
Hmm.
Is it, I'm wondering if there's a multiplayer aspect, obviously an online multiplayer aspect to it, or if it's just
Hector Brutus has played this game. Single player.
go.
Single
Shared
player.
a
Free to
split
play.
screen or remote play together.
free to play. Huh.
Craig's gonna play this later.
Yeah. I mean, it looks very like PlayStation 1-ish.
It
I was gonna
does,
say
right?
PS1, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Armageddon. Yeah.
Carmageddon, Twisted Metal, yeah.
Yeah, right. Kyle came in and says my only complaint about the upcoming Black Ops game is why numbered after giving the last one a cool subtitle. Cold War to Gulf War would have made sense. Yeah, so
Agreed completely.
they're calling it 6. Just
They're calling it 6, and there's no 5. So, yeah,
that's very video games for you. Makes all the sense in the world.
yeah.
Well, I mean, Microsoft did buy Activision, so
Yes.
their naming sucks.
Yeah,
Right,
it's terrible.
And look at this. Hikaru came in and says peanut butter and maple syrup is the god emperor sandwiches, and I don't hear any arguments to the contrary. And
I've tried it. Yeah, it's good. I agree. It's underrated for sure.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'd definitely give it a try. I'm not going to bash it till I try it.
Yeah.
Dev came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, I can't watch the stream this time, pals. Got too much on my plate today. Have a good show, Craig, Blabs, and guest. One request for Craig. Please show the audience your amazing Donkey Kong Country 3 prowess. Well, I'll tell you what, Dev, I'm actually going to put that up as a short on the Side Scrollers Plays and the main Side Scrollers channel because it was so good. Dev put together a short from yesterday when I was playing Donkey Kong Country 3 over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. And it was an adventure, to say the least. It was tough. So, but thank you for that, Dev. And that'll be going up later today. So, Emerald Ultima, Super American Cockmaster 3000, and Kennediah picked up the American Pride T-shirt. Guys, thank you very much for your support. That is spectacular. Go pick it up. All right. Spectacular stuff, guys. Thanks so much for the support this morning, showing BT what we do over here on a day-to-day basis. With that said, Blabs, give us a rundown of today in video game history.
All right, guys. So today on June 6th, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening was released back in 1993. Castlevania: Harmony of Dissonance was released back in 2002, and Diablo 4 is 1 year old today. A little baby. The end.
It's a baby. It's a pretty little lineup.
Oh, look at Eric. Look how prepared he is. He
Oh,
came prepared
yes.
today.
You are the man. That's my favorite Zelda game, bar none.
Really?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Your
I played it.
Yeah,
Favorite.
go ahead. Wow.
Yeah, of all time. Mm-hmm.
What
Super
about it
good.
is your favorite?
The story is a bit. I read something about the devs wanting to give it like a Twin Peaks feel, like a more dreamlike feel. I think that's why I played it as a kid, and that was the first Zelda I could beat. All the other ones I had were too hard, and I stuck with it, beat that one. It's just been my favorite ever since. That and Ocarina of Time, I think, are the two best ones for sure.
That was the first Zelda you could jump in. That'd
Yeah.
be you get the feather, and I was like,
The
whoa,
Rock's Feather,
Link.
yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Link can jump. Whoa, which is crazy. Did you play the remake?
Yeah, loved it too. Actually, very good.
Awesome. Yeah, that came out a couple years ago now.
Couple years ago. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good list today. Good, nice one, Blabs. Good stuff.
Welcome.
Chat, which one is the best? Let us know in the chat of those three, and tell us why it's certainly Diablo 4.
I prefer Diablo Mobile.
I'm
Everybody
sure
got a
the,
cell phone.
right. I'm sure the chat will let us know. A quick reminder that today in gaming history is brought to you by our friends over at Zydax PCs. If you guys haven't yet, please head over to Zydax PCs. If you're in the market for a PC, you can find the link down in the description. Everything they make is built in the USA, and all their customer support is in the United States as well. They're building they make some incredibly cool, aesthetically pleasing PCs, and it's all custom. So go pick one up. If you're in the market, check it out. Zydax PC is American owned, American supported, and we love America here on Side Scrollers. So thank you very much, Zydax. All right, gentlemen, look, we got a lot to talk about today. And Blabs, gentlemen and Blabs. My bad.
Did you just assume my gender?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It is
all
pine
just
cone for
normal
the
men.
month of June. Pine cone.
Oh, yes. It's pine/cone.
No, just pine cone. Don't play me like that.
Well, what's your plural? Right there. Nice. Now, with that said, it is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Hard news.
I told you, BT, Eric was going to be a big part of this. There he is, right there, every single day. Eric, look, I know that you love some good entertainment. You have a channel that's built entirely around watching movies. Yumi and the movies. Yumi you have multiple channels that are Yumi and the whatever
movies and Yumi and the TV. So our TV content's on the TV channel and movies on the movies channel.
Yumi
in the games, but I haven't streamed there for a while.
Will you on Yumi and the TVs be watching the upcoming surefire hit from Alec Baldwin, The Baldwins, the reality show that's coming?
I jokingly showed my wife this picture yesterday, saying we will be watching this when it comes out for our TV channel. And she said, I might actually watch that show. She watches horrible reality TV shows all the time on her free, sitting in bed, relaxing. She's watching, all this,
Well,
ugh.
you wonder kind of what's going to happen with this, and if they're going to actually cover it. This will be true reality if they, if things happen with Alec Baldwin. You look around here and you see the 7 children that he has with his wife. Okay, there's his wife right there. He has 7 children. Do you know how old Alec Baldwin is? Any guesses?
He's old. He's
60?
He's gonna be close to 70.
Labs?
I bet he's in his 50s. I don't think he's 70s. I think it's too.
Alec Baldwin, 66 years old.
Whoa.
66. And he's having these kids, man. That's crazy. I don't know.
He has other kids too.
Yo, at least he's not competing with Robert De Niro, though. 80-something with like a newborn.
Yeah.
Is that real? Is that true?
Yeah, Robert De Niro has like a baby.
Whoa.
Yeah. His wife is like a lot younger than him.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Wasn't there like a big controversy with Alec Baldwin and one of his daughters, older daughters, not one of the kids he has with her, about like a phone message where he called her a pig or something like that. I can't remember. There was a big it was like 5 years ago.
Alec Baldwin is not a normal man.
No, he's not a normal man at all. No. Oh no, Alex Baldwin's finger came in with a $50 super chat. Says the Baldwins is gonna pop off. Jay, we get it. Relax, just relax. All right, easy, Alec Baldwin's finger. Well, thank you so much.
Don't point at me.
Hey, yeah, don't point at me, man. Hey, so BT, this is one of the things we do on when somebody comes with massive support, they get to go on the wall, hence the sticky notes. You get to pick the color today, my man. What color would you like to go on the wall?
Let's go. I like that teal blue. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Blue's been popular lately. Alec Baldwin's finger, thank you very much for your support. Let's get you up on the wall. Also, not to be outdone, a little bit of celebration here. Very excited for this new Baldwins TV show coming up in 2025. Valkyria winner came in with the 50 blabs. Please read that off and then reward the chat with what we're about to see.
Okay, so for the chat, for the jiggles, hail to you all and love listening. As I'm gaming blabs, you're the best indeed. We are just normal men. Skull means cheers. Well, here you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Embrace it, enjoy it. Makes me feel kind of funny. It's good. All right. Well, thank you very much for that. Look at all that. Just all up in your face.
Flame Truth is not amused. He's like,
I mean,
I'm sorry, Eric, you all right? Yeah, sorry. You got lost there for a second.
You know that for every man, there are 2 boobs in the world. We are outnumbered.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
and it's not fair.
We are not. Hey, look at that. Look at that right there, guys. Thank you very much, Alec Baldwin's finger and Valkyria. Thank you so much for blessing us with that wonderful, wonderful occurrence right there. Not to be outdone, Hayden came in with a 50. Geez, you guys are spectacular today with the $50 super chat. Look at that. Please read that, Blabs.
Says, I'm leaving for Dallas within the next hour or two. Let's get some people in a karaoke bar one night, Craig. Let's have a karaoke party one night. Kidding, unless... Can't wait to see you there. Thank you very much, Hayden. Well, then you know what that means because he does the 50. It's double.
Oh, no. Wow. Back at it again right there. Got double.
Back
double
at it again with the double tits.
Hey, we reward our audience for their support. I'll tell you, with memes from around the internet. Hayden, I look forward to seeing you at the meetup here this weekend in Dallas. It's going to be a great time. Hayden, thank you very much for your support. Be careful on the road, my friend.
Listen, before we move on, I have to bring this up. So when I was saying how Robert De Niro had a baby, chat was like, no, that's Pacino or somebody else. No. Robert De Niro has a baby and he's 80 years old.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Hey, first off, what a very powerful to be able to get that at 79 years old.
I don't want to think of that, Craig. Thank you.
Being still fertile at 79 years old. I'm just saying. Wow. And what's that say about his wife, girlfriend?
Yeah, it's wife.
How old is she?
Oh, I don't know. I think she was like
30.
Yeah,
probably 30.
Well, I thought she was like 50, but I might be mistaken. I've read too many names and years and things in the last 24 hours.
Well, spoiler, Blabs, for your future. At 50, you probably won't be able to have a child.
I know, but like she was pretty old. Let me look.
Well, I'm just letting you know, Blabs. Probably not going to happen. So,
okay, he's got 2 wives.
What?
No,
Right,
wait,
at
no.
the same time? Yeah.
Okay. No, he's had 2 wives. Okay. So he was married, divorced, married, divorced. So who's he with now? Is this a girlfriend? I don't even know. Relationship. I'm on his wiki. Okay, with his girlfriend, Tiffany Chen. Who the hell's that?
Let's just.
We're going on a deep dive on Robert De Niro's personal life. Please hold.
Yeah, let's not do that. Hey,
She's 65.
No, there's no
Tiffany
way.
Chen, Hong Kong film producer, and picture with Robert De Niro, age 65, born 1959 in Guangdong province of China.
Something's wrong there.
No,
they must have had like a surrogate or something.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, that ain't real. That ain't real life. As Winter Solstice says, don't forget Baldwin's wife, who was born and raised in Boston, claims she was from Spain and went as far as to develop a fake accent. The media caught her in the lie. What? What are you talking about?
It'll be interesting if she has that accent in the show.
Yeah.
The whole show is just a PR stunt. And he's got to be paying for it all because there's no way an actual TV channel and producers would be like, yeah, people are going to watch this after all. It's just him trying to.
It looks like a family I'd see at McDonald's, like 7 kids in the ball pit and then like, an old guy and then like a not so old woman. I don't know.
Oh my God. Well, I want to say a family. I would say a grandpa with his grandkids. That's what it looks like. That's the crazy thing about it. I guess that is technically a family, but not the father kid sense. But hey, check this out. Thrash came back. Says been watching Blame Truth since 2011. Great guest. Also love You, Me, and the Movies channel. I still want to suplex Joe. What is that name?
Joe Secca. It's one of the. He's arguably the worst Call of Duty dev. So yeah, that's been a catchphrase for a bit.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Thrash. Glad we could bring these worlds together. Kind of the fun of the show. All right, Blabs, you wanted to talk about this before we dig into some other stuff. You played an update for Hogwarts Legacy. BT, I don't know if you know this, but we have, in case you can't tell, Blabs is quite possibly the preeminent Harry Potter authority in the gaming space. And there she is.
I realize
right
I'm
there.
muted, but I said the most basic Harry Potter fan you'll ever meet. I'm normal.
Yes, she is normal. That's right.
I'm a normal man. But so for some reason, I got the update a whole day in advance. I'm not really sure what that was about because they said June 6th, and I got to play it yesterday. I didn't really care about the cosmetics. I thought they were just a bunch of member berries to, correlate Harry Potter versus this game that's set a whole century in advance to Harry Potter's timeline. But the actual quest itself was a lot of fun. It was arguably the most scary thing in the entire game. I was freaking out. There was like these little dummies that were trying to get to you. And they were freaking me out because anytime you would turn around, they would come up to you, like almost like the Weeping Angels in Doctor Who. And that stuff scares me. So it was like a Weeping Angels meets Harry Potter thing. And absolutely terrified. Loved every second of it, but it was arguably the best thing of the game. Which is weird because the whole main story is shit.
Oh,
and then this game is like.
I was about to say I haven't played Hogwarts Legacy, but I've heard the game's good, like really good. So
I've breaking this game down. I was very fair. I gave it a lot of pros, like the music, some of the stuff is really cool and fun, but the cons for me outweighed far too much to give it like a thumbs up. There was a lot of member berries in there just for the sake of it, just to tie it in. I'm like, that's just cheap and lazy. And it's not interactive at all. You can't talk to any students in Hogwarts. You bump into them and just like, I'm like, that's lazy. Especially when you have previous Harry Potter games to base off of. You're like, I could do this in 2007, but you're saying 2024, I can't do that anymore? Like, what happened here? So things like that. But yeah, I actually really love the new quest.
BT, 80% of the internet likes the game. Blabs is the over skeptical person who took the deep dive and.
Well, listen, I was skeptical of it since it leaked in 2018. I was getting all the shit for it, and I was like, it's not a good plot. And I broke it down, and the plot is not good.
I've mainly heard the praise for the gameplay, not so much the plot. So yeah, I can see why. Like, I feel like if you're like a fan of it and the plot's not good, I mean, I can see why you wouldn't like it for sure. Yeah.
So what you're saying though, Blabs, is that the game. The new update is great, though.
It's the most fun I've ever had playing this game, and I played this game for 60 hours. So this one thing that I played yesterday, I was like, this is what I wanted for like a whole thing. It wasn't really Wizarding World-esque, but it was still fun to play. Like, it was still missing something in my opinion, but I had the most fun playing it, And I don't know why I got the update in advance, but there it is.
Love it. Good stuff.
Oh, by the way, this is the quest that was exclusive to PlayStation only on launch. And then a whole year later, it was released to everybody else. So that's what that quest was.
Okay. Hey, real quick, Gray Man brings up a really good point. Blabs, you do need a mustache today. Everyone else has a mustache here. And if
what do you want me to do? Just grow one? Like, it doesn't work, bro.
you could SpongeBob it and just squeeze really hard and it'll pop up.
I don't think that's how it works.
Every time I go on a podcast, people say I look like a different person. So today I like did this intentionally. So yeah.
I mean, that's a great question. In going off the thumbnail today, Blab sent me the thumbnail and your image. You look nothing like that.
That's just a year ago. That's just me from a year ago. So
wow,
I
changed. You look like a male model. You look like Zoolander over there.
Yeah, my girlfriend took that picture and she's like, "Oh, you look great," and I'm like, "Cool, I'm gonna ruin it in a year. Watch me." So
cool. I'm gonna ruin it. Love it.
I'm gonna ruin it.
All right. Hey, Eric, I got a question for you.
Yep.
Do you use Photoshop or Illustrator or Premiere Pro or anything? Do you?
I use Premiere Pro for all my video edits. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you saw the whole Adobe controversy that's been going around the last day or so. Have you been abreast to all this information?
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet about it.
Well, they have a new terms of service, and it is, I say new. It's a modified terms of service, which has left the internet in a little bit of an uproar here, as there's obviously a lot going on here. The new terms of service requires users to grant Adobe access to their active projects for content moderation and other purposes. This is really, really interesting here, as people have talked about, the different claims associated with this terms of service. And this is from Savvy, who we have on the show pretty regularly. She says, product director for Substance says, ignore the words Adobe puts out. Comments that, quote, serious companies would drop them in the terms of service. Now, this is the quote from this. This is the person actually works on the Adobe suite of products here. This is the kind of the quick rundown. Finds itself under fire after its recent spyware-esque terms of service update, which forces Photoshop and Substance 3D users to provide the company unlimited access to their projects. And it's the only tip of the iceberg here. You can see right here. We may access your content through both automated and manual reviews, such as content review. Well, we are not, and this is, he says, we are not accessing or reading Substance users' projects in any way, shape, or form, nor are we planning to or have any means to do it in the first place. I fail to see the point of doing so, and every serious company in the industry would drop us immediately if that's the case. And Savvy, presses him a little bit. and says like, why does Adobe need to add in that? And he pretty much like, here's the link to it. You're ridiculous. And Grums is saying, hey, if this is so silly and this is not an issue, then drop the terms. And I don't know. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this, because in the last 12, 18 hours, there's been a push to speak with their wallets. We're big on that here on the channel. We feel that, not necessarily boycott, but just don't buy the things that don't speak to your values. And if you feel that you don't want Adobe looking at your projects as you're working on them or having the opportunity to look at them, you should probably cancel your membership, because there are a lot of free options out there. But I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Let's start with you, Eric.
Well, I use Adobe Premiere every day to edit all of our videos on our channels. And we used to do group, because I have a couple editors that work for me. And I used to do, I think it's group projects or team projects, which is an online. So I sync it and I can send it to the other person and they can edit it and send it back without having to like send them a bunch of files and stuff.
Right.
And it kept getting slower and slower. And so eventually I just gave up and just started setting the project file and then the assets behind it. So it's probably just language to protect Adobe, because they have all this cloud stuff that if something gets on there, that somebody doesn't try to cancel them.
BT, sure. BT, do you use Adobe in any way for your content?
I use Photoshop, and just my YouTube thumbnails, I just do them all. So if they want to like siphon my big red arrows and shit and my big yellow text, they can do so, I guess. It doesn't really affect me that much, but I can see how it's very invasive, or could be invasive in the future. It's also possible they could be like doing something behind the scenes with like AI generated stuff and using that as like a database, to possibly do that. AI art's getting more popular, and they could be getting their foot in the door in that. I don't know.
Right. And George, who we've had on the show as well, G Prime, who came in and says, so Adobe does not allow installation of old software that you bought codes for, and pushes AI generative tool, a quote unquote tool, which no self-respecting artist asks for. Now, George, obviously, George is an art purist, if you will. He does not believe in AI art at all. As a matter of fact, we had him on for a big AI debate and roundtable, and it got super heated and it was awesome. So George was really into that. But then he says, and now they demand access to your and your client's intellectual property. They should go out of business. He said, I've been using Photoshop for 25 years. It was basically perfected a decade ago and didn't need any further updates, much less a subscription model. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, what's the suite cost? Like $25 a month, something like that?
Well, if you've got all the apps, it's like 60.
Okay, so 60. Yeah, I mean, and real quick, BT, I was looking at your thumbnails as you were talking about that. And I don't know if you use the full suite of Adobe products, but just looking at your thumbnails, you could do a lot of what you're doing in Canva. Are you familiar with Canva?
Yeah. Okay,
cool.
I could do it in a lot of different stuff. Yeah. I do some like actual like pictures and stuff. Like I do photography on the side. So I use Photoshop just to touch up stuff, and Lightroom and stuff like that. So I have Photoshop, Lightroom, and that's it. And for editing, I just use Vegas Pro, which is kind of crappy, but whatever.
Well, I use Adobe. I was a big Final Cut guy early on, and then I switched over to Premiere a few years ago, and it's been, haven't had any. I switched over from Mac to PC, and for me, it's been my main thing for a long time. But I started using Canva for our thumbnails, as moving away from Photoshop. Photoshop was too clunky for me. I don't need all the in-depth tools associated with it. And you can do a lot of the basic stuff over on Canva. But this is something I actually have a tab open on how to cancel my membership, because I do agree that if they're going to be reaching in and looking at all your data and stuff, and more or less, I just not into that. I got to do a little more research on it. But on the surface, this is not a good look for Adobe by any means. So I don't know. I'll be interested to see. Chat, what do you guys think? Do you guys feel like number one, do you use Adobe? Number two, will you continue to use Adobe after that? Curious on your thoughts right there. But that's the other thing, is that there's such a giant number of products in the Adobe suite. There's everything from Illustrator to Premiere to Photoshop and everything else in between. And it's a giant tool set if you're any sort of creative online. So Yeah, interesting stuff for sure. We'll see kind of what happens, because there has been a big pushback, and we'll see if Adobe does answer to that pushback after changing their terms of service. So let's move on to another quick hit here. I think it was late last week. We saw a quick story about how Steam said when you die, that your games cannot be transferred to anybody else. Like they die with you, like your game catalog. Did you see that, BT?
No, but that's ridiculous. Wow. Okay.
Right. Eric, what number one, do you think that's fair? Number two, stake your claim for physical games once again, because I feel like physical is a priority based off that.
Yeah, my how many games do I have on Steam? Close to 700.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Just transfer your password if you want to, put it in your will. Whoever's getting your Steam library, here's my login details, and go from there. That's how you pass it on. You can't transfer the account. You just got to give somebody your password.
Yeah.
And then they could probably change a bunch of the stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right. That's the easy way around it. But in the case that you don't do that, and somebody like one of your relatives wants to go in and play your games, there are other alternatives like Good Old Games. Are you guys familiar with Good Old Games at all?
Yep.
Well, Good Old Games says that if you can obtain a court order, we'll do our best to make it happen. Which, unlike Steam, they will transfer accounts to entitled parties after a user's death. Which, that's kind of a cool thing, I guess they're saying they'll do, which is another notch in the cap of GOG over there. So I don't know, just a fun little quick hit right there. You guys got any thoughts on that?
I feel like
GOG's DRM free.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so you can just download the games after you buy them on GOG and have them on a hard drive, so you can just transfer them that way.
That is awesome. Yeah, I feel like there's so many companies or games getting traction just by saying like, hey, we're not going to do this scumbag stuff, and then people are like, okay, great, and then they'll hop on board. It's sad it's come to that, but yeah, I don't know. Steam's usually pretty good with stuff. There was the Helldivers 2 controversy, and they gave people refunds, even after hundreds of hours of gameplay on an individual account because of what Sony pulled. And I don't know, it's out of character for them. I hope it's not a pattern that's developing here. So,
it's funny. It's funny. You're right. The idea that if you just don't treat your audience like crap, or you treat your customers like crap, it helps.
Yeah, it's surprising. It works.
It's really amazing how if you treat them with respect and when they're giving you money on a month-to-month basis, it's a really, really great thing. So you're right. There's an entire niche market of non-bad customer treating companies. It's very, very niche though. Very niche.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I feel like Steam's good enough. If Gabe N hears about this and there's enough stink about it, they might make a transfer. Process possible.
For me, we talked about this last week, and I think this does go back to the idea of like physical games and the importance of them. If I own a copy of Call of Duty in my hand versus a digital copy of Call of Duty, I can literally put that copy of Call of Duty in my will, as opposed to having to put, whatever. So yeah, I think from a physical aspect of it, it just champions that even further as we continue to get in this world of digital purchases and do you really own it if you buy it and it's digital and blah, 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 and all the question marks associated with that. So yeah, did BT roll? He did. He bounced out. Okay. Got to let the dog out. Sounds good.
I love how he just fiddled right off screen.
It's like, oh, there you go. While BT does that, I would like to let you know, Kratos El Greatos came in with a hard 11. That is $111 right there. A direct donation. Jeez Louise, Kratos. Thank you so much. Says, I'm the biggest pickle of the land. I eat the other pickles with my hand. Looking forward to seeing all you normal men on Saturday. Karaoke might be organized, especially if Ryan Kindle is with us again. I might be doing the singing for once. Ah, yes, Kratos. Well, Kratos, thank you so much for that extreme generosity with the hard 11 right there. Show me them pickles in the chat. And you're right, Kratos. At the end of the day, we're just normal men.
We're just normal men. What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's brilliant. Thank you, Kratos. It's amazing stuff. Also amazing. Patriotic Gestalt came in with a $50 super chat. Blast, please read that off while I put
All right.
on the wall.
Patriotic says, okay, time for another shout out to another YouTuber. Interview Brian Lunduke if you can. He's into Linux and open source stuff.
Linux.
What did I
Linux.
say?
Linux.
Oh, don't mind me. Didn't even realize it. But because you did the 50. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. And that's impressive.
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. I feel like we need to add some music to this.
Sorry.
What?
Oh, good. Wonderful right there.
I like your take on boobies.
Mm-hmm.
No joke. Woo. All right. So calm it down, guys. Calm it down. All right. Patriotic, thank you so much for that. Speaking of patriotic, Noodles picked up the American Pride t-shirt. Thank you so much. And some additional merchandise. And so did Rob, says gifting a second shirt. Let's go. Hey, guys, go pick up your amazing American Pride t-shirt. I want to sell like 1.5 million of these. Go pick it up right now. Link is in the description as BT is back. What's up, BT? How did the puppo do? Is he doing good?
He's got a little bit of diarrhea, so great timing, right?
All
But yeah, great timing. But I have a wireless headset, so I heard everything. We're good.
Good.
Yeah,
It's good. Well,
You heard the jiggles
I heard
without
the jiggles.
seeing them.
they were intense. They were intense again. Hey, Peter jiggled his way to 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. If you guys got a gifted membership, make sure you say thank you. Consider paying it forward. Thank you very much, Peter. That is spectacular. And Gookium came in with the 10 euro monies.
Isn't it
Says-
Goosium?
Goosium. I'm really bad at
I
English.
feel like it's French, but he's got the British pound, so now I'm confused.
Labs, I can't read or talk, and that's
Yes.
tough when you host a podcast. Says GOG's main thing is that they provide offline installers and don't require online verifications to play. Many people are not aware of this. You can preserve your game collection on an external drive. Thanks, Gook. Appreciate that. And now you know. That's right. All right. Let's move on to some more insanity in the video game space. BT, you are an expert in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is known for its I'm going to mute you, Blabs. Is known for its lobbies and the notoriety associated with its lobbies. There's obviously videos going around from the late 2000s, the Modern Warfare time back in the day, where you would enter when you entered a lobby in Call of Duty, you entered a boy, but you left a man by the time you were done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's gotten to a point now where trash talk has been a big thing across video games forever. Literally since the quarter was put into Pac-Man or Street Fighter or whatever, people have trash talk because at the end of the day, it's competition. I want to beat that score. I want to beat you. Well, Tekken apparently has gotten out of hand as Harada, who is the chief producer of action and fighting games and has worked on Tekken for over 30 years, has come in and he is up for banning rudeness in Tekken. As here it is right here. Now, look, I don't know if this is necessarily the nicest thing to say, but this person here says, well, I'll just let y'all read it here. And he says, there it is. It's not exactly, the nicest thing, as you can see, I don't like your style, blah, 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 blah. Now, on the surface, that looks pretty, like, okay, that's maybe kind of racist, I think, maybe. We'll see. But the person puts the name out there, okay? Now, what happened here, though, is that this person who's saying this went down and rewatched the matches. And he's talking about the idea that the jab could potentially be a misspelling of jab, right?
Pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
So here we go. Let's see. So this is the jab happening from the yellow side, the little dick jab, which I think is the best move in all fighting games, is the dick jab, personally. but that's here, right? So there's been kind of going back and forth. Is it a typo? Is it a, I don't know how you can have a typo 5 separate times, right? But at the same time, I don't know.
I think it's a typo, or I think he might be. It could be like some kind of dyslexia, because a B and a P is pretty similar. I don't know. I'm reaching here, but I would say with the context there provided, I'd say it's probably a typo, or he just doesn't know how to spell jab. He could just not know how to spell. I mean,
well, word got back to this guy, the guy behind Tekken, and he says, "This is a rude player. Is this DM via Twitter? Please tell us more about the record of the rant, and we will ban the player if we can prove the association of the Tekken ID with the ranting player." So they're talking about banning this player for this is a Twitter DM that happened here for something that it wasn't even said in game. This is outside a game. So what are your thoughts on the Eric? Let's start with you. The reach of this, whether he said something rude or not. The idea of saying something off platform about something that happened on platform, and then banning them based off something that happened off platform. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, banning somebody for something that's not even related to the game. We've all gotten messages after a competitive game where you kill somebody in a first-person shooter and they send you a Steam message because maybe that's open or something. They'd be like, "You cheater, you hacker, you suck at this game. You couldn't beat me if you didn't use cheats," stuff like that. I've gotten tons of messages like that over the years. But yeah, a gaming company should not take a tweet as evidence to ban somebody, especially if it's not even said inside a game server. I understand if there's a defense inside the game using their communication processes, but not something from outside, because how do you prove that?
Right, and I think that's where he was saying is if we can connect this DM with the actual user, then we'll ban them. But once again, how do you do that, right? BT, you live in the FPS space.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just open up and just say, how do you feel about that?
We solved this problem back in like 2005, 4, when Xbox Live was really taking off. We solved this problem, and it's called just fucking mute them. And if they're, if you don't want to see something, mute them, block them, you're done. Call of Duty has this thing now where it's an AI chat moderator. So you can't even say like, people have reported they've gotten banned for just saying like telling their team like, "You guys suck, get on the flag," and they've gotten like chat banned. So this takes it to the next level though, because this is off platform. So I disagree entirely. Again, I just mute them and block them. It doesn't need some third party intervention. We don't need like a judge here, unless you want to make it a reality show, and that'd be kind of funny. But no.
Can we? Okay, I want to take a step back here. This auto thing that's happening in Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, because that seems so overreaching and so ridiculous.
I told people before they put this in, like, do not use in-game chat, like talk over Discord or, your own like TeamSpeak, whatever. Every console PC can get Discord now pretty much. So I'm like, don't use their in-game chat. And then people don't listen and they use the in-game chat and they get chat banned. In some cases, I think they can actually get like banned for, a week or more based on that. Someone reported, and this is true as far as I know, someone reported that they were talking to their friend, just not even in a public match, just their friend in a Call of Duty lobby. And they said something to the effect of, "I'm going to change the tranny in my Toyota truck this weekend." Oh, no. And they banned him for that. So, because, obviously. So, I don't know, man. Just mute them. Just mute them and block them. We don't need all this. I don't think. But that's just, I'm old school. So,
well, then there's people who say that if you say that you just need to mute them, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You shouldn't have to mute. And if that's the case, I would say, why is there a mute button to begin with?
Yeah, why is there a mute button? I don't want to hear people playing like music through their mic at like, phone quality. So I mute them. I don't want them to be banned, but
do you all remember the first time you experienced Xbox Live? Because I vividly remember the first time I went over to my friend's house, and it was I don't remember if it was Xbox or Xbox 360, but I remember going on and I think I played, I don't even remember what it was, but it was either Halo 2 or like Street Fighter or something on Xbox Live Arcade, and experiencing talking to somebody from another section of the world while competing in them, my mind was blown. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard of ever. And then you get into a lobby and it's just like kids bickering the entire, you got this guy playing Tupac in the background, it's absolute chaos. It's like, it's that meme of walking into the room that's on fire and they're like, this is fine. It's spectacular. Eric, do you remember your first time playing on Xbox Live?
Yeah, in a public lobby, everybody's a 12-year-old. You turn into a 12-year-old, or you are playing against 12-year-olds. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh. What about you, BT? Do you recall specifically the first time?
I remember this to this day. It was on Call of Duty 4. I was playing with my Canadian buddy, and we were playing a match against this. It was like a pregnant woman and her husband or something like that. And she was talking openly about the baby or whatever. And my Canadian buddy said, I hope when you give birth, he's not as shit at video games as you are. And then they got into an argument, and he turns more Canadian as it goes on. That's something I remember to this day. And like, you can't really do that anymore. I don't know. It's just still funny. It's still funny, and we don't really have that anymore. So
no, you'd be pinged for harassment in the worst way. Because words are violence. BT, you just be careful.
And I've met some good friends, having like a little rivalry in a game, and then like afterward, I'm like, hey, you want to party up? Like, we're pretty good, and he's like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, sure. So I feel like a lot of that social aspect is gone now. I personally just, I usually hop in and just stick to my party and don't talk to anybody. That's also an option. Just like turn voice chat off altogether. Right. But again, I think it's people overcomplicating it. So
that's spectacular. Well, we'll keep an eye out on if that player gets banned over on Tekken, because hey, now your DMs on Twitter affect your ability to play a game that you paid for.
Yeah, that's a bit insane. I have a buddy that plays Tekken 8, and he talks a lot of trash, so I hope he does not get banned. Let's say. Oh
wow! Hey, this is actually kind of an interesting story here, Labs. Thanks for finding this. This is kind of a big one here. Okay, let's chit chat about this. We were talking Call of Duty and everything, but this would be massive. This breaking news right here, as apparently Microsoft is reported in early stages of working on a remaster of the original Halo and is considered launching it on the PlayStation 5. Wow, that would be crazy. We've seen remastered versions of Halo with the, I guess it was called Remastered Edition, whatever it was
Master
called.
Chief Collection,
yeah, Master Chief Collection, which was very cool, by the way. The idea of going from pressing a button and going from old school graphics to new school graphics on the Xbox back in the day. But the idea of creating an updated version of Halo for the PlayStation 5 just seems like sacrilegious in a weird way. I mean, it's totally weird. Weird. Eric, what are your thoughts on that?
That's all we're getting these days is remasters, though. That's the original game. I mean, the original games are making suck. So I guess remake the classics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they want to bring it to the other platform they got, PlayStation, because I guess Master Chief's he hasn't ever been on PlayStation.
No,
so I can see why they're doing it. They probably have to rebuild it a little bit for that platform. So it kind of makes sense.
Right. BT, initial thoughts.
My first Halo game was Halo 3. So I never really played the original. So I'm down again. It's like Eric said, a lot of the new stuff they make sucks. So just go back to what works, I guess. But I feel like at the same time, unless it's a slippery slope, because if you make it too similar to the original, it's going to feel dated. And I think if you change too much, you're gonna piss off the original, the OG Halo fan base. So I mean, I'm not sure what they do with it. It might just be an excuse to bring it to PlayStation and get the buzz and the hype around it like that. But I don't know. It's slippery slope when you remake stuff, because how far do you go with creative liberties nowadays with the advancements, and how do you stay with the OG at the same time? It's tough.
How do you make it for modern audiences? Once again, nobody has met this modern audience yet, by the way. Like, it's amazing. And so, but I will say this: if you go back and play the original Halo, it doesn't. I asked that question on X, and Mark the Cyborg said, generally when people say modern audiences, they mean like updating with modern controls. It's like, cool, then just say we're going to update with modern controls, right? Because if you were to go back and play OG Halo, it would feel extremely floaty and it would feel dated. I mean, the game's 20 years old, right? So, I do think that there should be some advances, but obviously this is what the interesting thing about this is, I look even further past the initial headline onto the sub headline is that Microsoft is going to announce this during its Xbox showcase. Like, wow, the idea that Microsoft is announcing their primary mascot, or I guess whatever, their biggest character, Master Chief, appearing on their primary competitor is really bizarre to me. Really bizarre. But
if you told me this 10 years ago, I wouldn't believe you. I'd be like, it's crazy.
I think that the Xbox is dead.
Yeah, I think Xbox knows that the future is not in their hardware necessarily, but like their software. I think they realize that cross-platforming, getting as many sales as possible is the way. So it's cool, but it is weird. As an old school gamer, it's fucking weird to see, like, imagine Gears of War or something on PlayStation, or anything like that. So or even top. I was going to say Master Chief in Call of Duty is a rumor because Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. So it's just weird.
Everything about that, like that, I feel like we are living in this bizarro video game space that we all grew up, and then somewhere along the lines, we entered this alternate dimension and everything is weird.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, Master Chief's going to be on Sony? What is this? And what? Yeah, I don't know. You're right. Weird is the proper way to describe it. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens when they have that Xbox showcase here coming up really, really soon. So that would be quite a shocker. I guess not as big of a shocker now that it's been spoiled, but whatever. Hey, check this out. Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships. Hey, if you guys got a gifted membership, Ian, check out that number boosted in the background right there. We're going to go to 20 with you right there. If you guys got a gifted membership, make sure you guys say thank you. Consider paying it forward. We would greatly appreciate that. Ian, we're going to get you up on the wall here in just a second. Really appreciate your support. And Blabs has something to say to you.
It will.
There it is right there. Thank you, Ian. Really appreciate your support. As this doesn't go as fast as I hoped it would when I initially got it. I thought I'd be able to just go boom, 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 but there's like a 3-second delay each one. So we'll get there eventually, guys. Thank you.
Tap. Tap.
Hey, not to be outdone, MS came in with the $27.21, very specific direct donation. Says, for the good people of Side Scrollers, thanks for your awesome work. Greg and Blabs. Thank you, MS. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support and the very specific $27.21 direct donation. John came in with the 5, says, all these guys should be banned then if that guy got banned. This is apparently some trash talk that's happening here. Now, I have not screened this. I probably should screen this, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trust you, John, when I show this video, and let's see it. Let's just play the game.
Should they be worse than my lobby?
No, it can't be worse than yours. Let's just. Should they be banned, or would they be banned today?
Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting
I like the game is even. Like they're even at this point. It's a close game.
That is hilarious. If I came across somebody, with a whole like band behind them doing that, I just let them win. I just let them win. Like they deserve to win, man.
Just put the controller down. All right, you're right. I am.
No, I think they would probably get banned though. Yeah, and that's funny. That's like funny. That's lighthearted. And people they'd probably get banned by an AI chatbot. Yeah,
that's the reason 100%. For games to have fun right there.
Yeah, seriously.
What's fun about that? It's harassment. Come on, Eric. You know that. Look at that.
Well, I mean, when they're playing competitive a 2-player game versus somebody's going to lose. Losing doesn't it sucks.
So. Oh, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's the thing, right? People, and when I say people don't understand, like that's what makes video games great. That stuff right there is a group of friends getting together, ragging on some dude that's playing another game, whatever. That's the best thing about video games is the camaraderie associated with just shitting all over somebody.
I mean, who remembers spray painting offensive things in first-person shooters? Remember when you could upload your own JPEGs and bitmaps for
Gary's mod? Yeah.
Spray painting, and there would just be dicks and boobs all over the walls.
Yep.
Wow, I kind of, I feel like that show, that clip needs to be somehow incorporated into our show in some way, shape, or form. We need to figure it out.
Somebody's good.
Yeah.
I have it stuck in my head now.
Yeah, it's pretty catchy.
Yeah.
I feel like they should turn that into an actual song and release it on iTunes and charge it 99 cents for it, and they could clean up. That'd be great.
Agreed.
All right, let's move on to this deep dive we wanted to get into today. We want to talk Call of Duty. All right. Everybody here, especially Blabs, is a Call of Duty expert, especially. But we're talking about one of the biggest franchises in video games. BT here is an expert. That is what your channel is built around. Over 400,000 subscribers. So as you play Call of Duty and games like Call of Duty, on a day-to-day basis, that is kind of what you do. Describe kind of like what your channel is. Like it's more than just playing Call of Duty. You're talking about the games and just kind of give us a quick rundown.
I started in 2007 playing like Halo 3, Gears of War, recording it off a VHS tape. I'm that old. And then Call of Duty 4 came out. Started uploading that as well. And that was the key because I was getting better and better as I played Gears and Halo and stuff like that. By the time COD 4 came out, I was pretty good. And then nobody else really was. So I'm like, I should like post how to get better at this game for people. Started doing that, played it up until Black Ops 2, which many consider to be the best of the entire series. I agree with that sentiment. And then after that, got a little rocky. I made a second YouTube channel and kind of got it because Ghost came out after that. And Call of Duty Ghost came out. Not good. Sorry if you like it. And then, it was less that good game year after year and more just a hit, then two misses, a hit, then two misses. Craig, you said you tapped out at Infinite Warfare. A lot of people did.
Right.
And then they maybe came back with Modern Warfare. It's not a remake either. I don't know why they call it that. Chronologically, they're all fucked up with just they're chronologically, they're all messed up. But anyway, I came back in 2019 with Modern Warfare because I'm like, this game is awful. And pretty much since then, I've been playing the bare minimum I can and just being like, wow, this is terrible. Like every single year. And I hate that it's come to that, but xDefiant did just come out, and that's made by an ex Call of Duty dev from the Golden Years, Mark Rubin, and an ex Call of Duty pro player. And they actually hit up the Call of Duty community for balance like tips. They got Drifter on. He's another old school Call of Duty guy. Exclusive Ace is another old school Call of Duty guy. They hit up the people that play their games the most and the biggest fans for the feedback. And xDefiant has, I've got about 45 hours played on it since it came out 2 weeks ago. I am not touching Call of Duty for the rest of the year.
Wow.
That's how bad it's gotten. Yeah, that's essentially the channel right now. Is complaining about Call of Duty, enjoying xDefiant. I got people saying Ubisoft's paying me off. I got people saying like, if you don't like Call of Duty, don't play it. I'm like, man, I'm too far in now. I'm stuck. I'm stuck here. Like, so
Right.
yeah,
Well,
that's the gist of it.
yeah. So your entire channel is built around this, this game, this franchise, right? And
Yeah.
xDefiant coming, you could see a shift here, but we were talking about like at a certain point, Eric, you said you were more of a Battlefield player than a Call of Duty player. Did you play any Call of Duty at all?
I kind of got into Call of Duty when they started doing battle royales, because that's kind of my thing for the last. Oh, geez, how long has PUBG been out, or even before that? But yeah. I mean, I was more of a Battlefield guy before that. I did some Battlefield leagues back in the 2000s, but Battlefield's died. It used to be Call of Duty versus Battlefield around 2010, right?
Yeah.
And then Battlefield 1 came out, and nobody's played it since. So
right. Well, so
yeah,
Call of Duty. So Call of Duty, the original Modern Warfare in 2007, that was like the line in the sand. This is the next level of Call of Duty. And, we're talking, I think everybody sees this and they immediately know exactly, the map. They know everything about this. They know, if you played Modern Warfare, this map, all the ins and outs of it. You have memories of playing this game, right?
This is the map Strike with the AK-74U Blue Tiger camo. Yep.
You know exactly what's going on. I
know exactly what's going on. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Which I would never say I was a good Call of Duty player by any means. But man, did I love playing this. This is so fun. So fun.
Yeah.
The introduction of kill streaks and nukes and attack helicopters, and that was pretty game changing back in the day for sure. And now, if you fast forward, and granted, it's been almost 2 decades. That game was 2007. It's now 2024. When you look at Call of Duty, people don't recognize Call of Duty. There's now this is the thing going around right now with Call of Duty and Gundam, the crossover that's going on. And it's like, how, I guess the big question is, BT, how did we get here? How did we get to Call of Duty crossing over with Gundam Mobile?
We got here because after Black Ops 2, they kind of lost a lot of steam. From 2000, you could argue the beginning from Call of Duty 1 to Black Ops 2, I think they were doing their own thing and they were innovating and they were pushing the envelope and trend setting. Games were ripping them off, not the other way around. After Ghost came out and kind of flopped, and then Advanced Warfare, they went with Advanced Warfare, which was just kind of like a Titanfall ripoff. Around that point, I think they started to lose their way. By the time Modern Warfare 2019 came out, they switched to Battle Royale. That helped a lot. But again, if you look at Warzone and stuff, a lot of their stuff is just ripping off Fortnite. The Gundam thing, it's just ripping off Fortnite. Fortnite, it works in that universe. It was built that way. Call of Duty, they have lost their identity completely, which is why you have so many different fan bases with it. You have the old disgruntled fans that hate it now, like me. You have the new school fans, which are, the younger generation that they just think it's like a manlier Fortnite or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think they lost their way around Black Ops 2 to Ghosts, and they got some of that mojo back with Warzone and Battle Royale, but that gets all the focus now, and the actual games they churn out every year are terrible, just awful. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I think for me, Call of Duty, I was always a big defender of Call of Duty. A decade or so ago, I felt like it was and I said this many times, I feel like Call of Duty at the time was one of the best values in video games, where you received a main single player campaign, you received fully flushed out multiplayer, and then you received zombies at the time, right? Yeah. And you got 3 very flushed out games in one $60 product. And I caught heat for that, but at the same time, give me a better value. I thought it was great. they, as Eric said, they introduced Battle Royale, which I think was very important for them to do, to keep up with Fortnite, to keep up with PUBG and everything else that was going on. That was the new trend. Like the traditional 5v5 multiplayer or 8v8 multiplayer, whatever it may be, that's like is old. That was 2010, right? And that's kind of like the video game industry wants. The trends have changed, right? So they had to keep up with the trends. But you said something, BT, that I think should not be overlooked, is the idea of like the Fortnight-ification, if I can coin a phrase right now, the Fortnight-ification of video games. And Call of Duty, you said, was setting the trends, and now they are following the trends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Fortnite that dominant to where they have to start following? Activision is following what's happening at Fortnite?
I'd say so. On the BR front, yeah, because as far as I know, Fortnite's still the number one, BR in town, and Warzone's number 2. So yeah, I think they're more of a follower than a trendsetter now, for sure. Especially considering just this past year, they've released arguably the worst value in gaming. Funny you should mention that, with Modern Warfare 3, which was like a 2-hour campaign, which was horrible. The multiplayer was essentially just a patch, an update for Modern Warfare 2 that was essentially nothing different. They just rehashed a bunch of maps and changed a few things and called it a day, copy and paste. And the zombies was just a copy and paste on DMZ from last year, which was like the one innovative thing they did, but then they dropped it within a year. So $70 too, went up $10. So worst value in gaming now for that particular game. And I don't know. I think all the focus is on the BR. And while they've had some definite missteps, and guys like Dr. Disrespect say it's in the worst state it's ever been, which is he's probably right. But I think the BR is their main focus. Everything else is just like a way to funnel you into the store. Sad to say, the MTX store. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's lost its identity as far as what it was initially. And xDefiant, I think, has come along and kind of reinvigorated that style of that old school, just 2010 style of game. And I think they're going to actually have competition this year. So I'm hoping they put some effort into the actual multiplayer and the $70 game that comes out now that they do have competition, but it remains to be seen.
Has xDefiant made any waves? Because I know Blabs was big on xDefiant. She was talking about it 6 months ago. She's like, you got to hear about this game, xDefiant. You got to see it. And she's, you played it when it first came out, and you said you enjoyed it, Blabs.
Yeah, I played the 2 betas also. So
have we seen any I don't know, any of the, for lack of a better term, market share? Has there been a large influx of people playing? How many people are playing xDefiant on a day-to-day basis? Do we have any idea?
The last I heard, they hit it was on Insider Gaming, I believe. They hit 8 million unique players, and then I think the number I saw going around was 700,000 concurrent players in one day, which is pretty good considering. I think it's way higher than Ubisoft. Even I think it was Ubisoft's fastest growing game as well. 2.5 million people checked it out the first day when the servers were messing up.
Down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's like, as far as my channel goes, like it's getting more views and attention than Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, or even Black Ops 6 is getting. So there's definitely, like, Call of Duty has alienated, for I guess like the trendier crowd. They've alienated the more hardcore fan base, the old school guys. And I mean, you can't make everybody happy. And then I think xDefiant saw that, hey, Battlefield's kind of dead in the water. Halo Infinite was kind of a flop. Call of Duty's just kind of releasing, D tier $70 yearly releases. Let's see if we can do something here. And we're still in the preseason. So I'm excited to see what they do as kind of a live service model going forward. I love the game, though. I legit love the game. I'm not getting paid off. right hand of God. So, but yeah, I just love it. It feels like Black Ops 2. It feels like a sequel to Black Ops 2 to me personally.
So you're saying xDefiant does?
Yeah.
Right. Eric, what would you be more inclined to play? A new Call of Duty with a BR, or like something old school like xDefiant? Do you have a preference? And there's no wrong answer.
I haven't tried xDefiant yet. I these days, if I'm playing a shooter, I'm kind of jumping into a BR. Or I like Call of Duty's DMZ too. I was playing that a lot, going in solo and just trying to wreck squads and wreck their day. It's kind of fun.
Right.
I think the issue with Call of Duty, I don't know if it was so much chasing Fortnite as it's chasing the dollar signs of microtransactions. If you look at Madden, you look at Fortnite, you look at Call of Duty, they're all just releasing the same game every year and just having new skins. It's all about Madden Ultimate Team, or it's all about FIFA making your all-star team, or having the best skin in Call of Duty. That's all they're focusing on is a microtransaction. Even like Grand Theft Auto with new cars every month. People that companies are focusing more on making money than innovating.
Yeah,
and that's what's really killing the gaming industry for people who want actual something new rather than just recycled content.
Agreed. Yeah, that too.
To kind of piggyback on that, if you look at this, we are approaching literally 2 decades of annual releases for Call of Duty. Since 2005, there's been a Call of Duty every single year. Every single year. And they have gone out and they've acquired, Infinity Ward. They were the ones who did the OG 2007 version, and they went out and they acquired Sledgehammer and Treyarch and to build these games, Raven Software, right? They acquired these studios specifically so they can have an annual release of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I was asking
about that actually, because wasn't Modern Warfare 3 supposed to be a DLC? It wasn't supposed to be a real game, right?
It was supposed to be that's why I say it was a patch they charged $70 for. It was supposed to be a DLC, and they changed it last minute and gave us a 2-hour campaign.
Release,
That's crazy. Aaron came in with a $20 super chat. Says, I disagree with the Fortnite assessment. Even after the original flopped and they released BR, it wasn't this current form where it's in, where the only news is when they had the Lady Gaga concert. It was a slow descent over 3 years. Yeah, and that's the one thing people forget about. And thank you, Aaron, for that. One thing people forget about with Fortnite was, like Fortnite, when it first came out, flopped. It was a spectacular flop. And it wasn't until they copied PUBG with the Battle Royale formula that they took off as a free-to-play game. And they then ultimately revolutionized the free-to-play model with the season pass and everything associated with that. So Fortnite as itself is a copycat of PUBG, which was a copycat of DayZ or whatever it was from back in the day.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I beta tested Fortnite when it was still just a tower defense game. That was before it was ever announced to have Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And then Battle Royale is what it like. Can you even still play the original concept of Fortnite? The reason it's called Fortnite, where you're supposed to build a fort and survive the night when waves of zombies come at your base.
That just sounds like Minecraft.
That's why it's called Fortnite.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think Blabs, and there's got to be a Fortnite documentary on YouTube. Someone's had to have done this, because yes, you can still play the original mode. Does anybody play the original mode? No, because it's not exciting. Nobody cares. Because that's a great example of when Fortnite, the original version of Fortnite was being developed. It was being developed to be because like zombie games were really popular. And over the course of 3 or 4 year development time, guess what? Trends changed, and all of a sudden, here we are. Your game flopped, and everyone's like, "Fortnite's going to be the greatest thing," and it got thrown out. It got rejected to half court. The gamers didn't want to deal with it.
They didn't even change before 1.0. Like the tower defense game, it was like 2 months out of open beta, or maybe even closed beta, that I remember playing. And then they announced Battle Royale. Like I have props to Fortnite for adapting so quickly to the Battle Royale trend, which is what skyrocketed them to success, because it got announced and like a month later, it's like, here's the Battle Royale version, and everybody started playing that. But yeah,
and which I think that says a lot about the engine that they built with Fortnite, their ability to modify and scale so quickly. Because apparently it was done just a couple of developers were like, well, I like that PUBG, so they made it. It was like a couple developers that went in, they made the mode in their spare time, and I hope those developers are insanely rich right now because they deserve all the wealth from that. So it was launched September. The original version of Fortnite was launched in September 26, 2017. No, that was the PvP mode. That's what they called it, the PvP Battle Royale mode. So I don't know when the original game launched, but the Battle Royale was launched in September 26, 2017, and that's when the money started rolling in for those guys. So, good God. All right, well, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you your thoughts on the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 6, BT.
It's probably going to suck, and it has nothing to do with Treyarch. I think Treyarch makes the best Call of Duty games. Like, I think they've made the best consistently good Call of Duty games. I should say they've had a miss with Cold War a little bit, but most people will blame the pandemic for that one. I think that Treyarch is the best dev, but everything behind the scenes, from the multiplayer servers to the insane microtransactions to the fact that they don't want to give you the best game they can give you because what are they going to sell you next year? They learned their lesson with Ghosts and Black Ops 2, I think, with that. I think it's going to be better than what we've gotten in the past several years, but I don't think it's going to be this insane blockbuster like the old days Call of Duty, because there's just too much. It's sort of like, I don't know. I compared it to Pimp My Ride in a recent video where Call of Duty on the outside, PSPs in the rims, popcorn machine in the passenger seat, great. But the actual engine underneath the hood is still like this unreliable mess, Everything on Activision's end, from the servers to the balancing to the time crunch every single year, to the fact that Treyarch's working with every studio, and they're making rumor is they're making the next game right after this one. So I'm not even sure how that's going to work, or if it's going to be another DLC thing or whatever, like $70 DLC. I don't know. I'm not optimistic in the slightest, but I'd love to be proven wrong. We'll see.
Well, I guess we'll see kind of what happens. But in the meantime, you got another alternative to play with xDefiant, which is
true.
So, yeah. The channel will continue. What's that? Will I try xDefiant?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. We've talked about Ubisoft a lot with all the agenda that they're shoving in games, and I'm curious: is there any of the agenda, the message thrown in?
Honestly, no.
Not really. This is a game I think that Mark Rubin and the team pitched to Ubisoft, and they're just like, "Hey, let us just make something. Trust us. Don't put don't get your hands in the cookie jar. Let us just do our thing." It's not really. I mean, it remains to be seen what they do in future seasons, but I think they are just focused on making an old school shooter. It feels like it's a game back from 2012, for better or for worse. A lot of people are saying it can feel dated, but man, that's what I want. I want dated. I want just old classic arcade Call of Duty style shooters with the bad ideas kept in Call of Duty, the good ideas taken over, to this game. So
even the women aren't like ugly. They actually have like a bit of hips and curvage to them. So I don't think it's that bad in comparison to like other skins and characters that we're seeing in modern games.
It's not anything I notice. Yeah. I just play the game, and they have
options. I've been looking and I haven't really seen anything. My thing is, Ubisoft is kind of a huge piece of shit lately, but so are all gaming companies. So if the game is genuinely decent right now and it's free, try it. Tell them, hey, this is what we like, right? You're supposed to go with your wallet, so to speak. So if you're playing a game that is good, why not?
Well, and you bring up a good point. It is free to play.
Mm-hmm.
It is free to play, so you can try it off and try it out. And if nothing else, you don't spend any money, and and you're draining money out of their server costs. So it'll be great. Slowly bringing Ubisoft down for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate your insight on that, man. That's good stuff. Let's get to some support today. You guys have been spectacular in your support. Thank you very much for all the generosity you guys have bestowed on us today. But I want to let you know, Lord J picked up the American Pride cap and other shirts. Thank you very much. Go pick it up right now. Link is in the description. So did Vatlaw came in and says, I'm here to buy patriotic side scrollers gear and shoot bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. Let's go, Vatlaw. Thank you very much. Go pick it up. Links in the description. I want to sell about 60 million of those, so let's sell them all. Really appreciate that. Also, Delta came in with the 5, says, never played Call of Duty, but I was a big Battlefield fan. Sucks we got into the hero shooter era. Bad Company 2 and Vietnam were my favorites, and still technically impressive. Thanks, Delta. Eric, did you play any? What was your favorite Battlefield back in the day?
Battlefield 2, I played a ton of. I played that competitively in some competitive leagues.
Nice.
I think the last one was Bad Company 2.
That was my favorite one. Yeah, that one's great.
Those two are my favorites. Battlefield 3 was all right, but BF2 and Bad Company 2 are my two favorite Battlefields.
Aiden came in with the 2, says, today is the 80th anniversary of D-Day. I traveled to Normandy Beach this September, and I'll remember their bravery and sacrifice for fighting against tyranny. They're the real heroes of the greatest generation. Thank you, Aiden. Appreciate your support. And you, my friend, are not wrong. Also over on Rumble says, so yesterday was sausages, today was cheeses. Are we getting a cracker discussion tomorrow?
Okay.
That's true. Yesterday we started the show talking, man, dude is on it. Peach T came in and says, Blaz made me feel geriatric the other day when she posted that Harry Potter 3 is 20 years old now. I remember seeing it in theaters as a kid. Craziness. Thanks, Crazy T. Appreciate that. And Lone Wolf came in with the 2 over on Rumble. Says, Halo updated for modern audiences. First, fix all the dialogue to not be, quote, offensive. Add pronouns, uglify Cortana, etc. Thanks, Lone Wolf. And Ree says, there's a Mario Kart version of the song for your hearing pleasure. Let me check it out real quick. Let me see if I can find that version of the song. In the meantime, while I pull that up, Blabs, would you please read off some of this wonderful super chats?
Yes. So Matthew says halloumi is the best cheese. The cheese can be grilled or it can be cooked in a skillet. It's fantastic. Halloumi? I've not heard that. Actually.
I've not heard of that either.
Thank you. Blab's a tower turd. Someone should make Blab sing Prima Victoria in honor of today's anniversary. I like pickles, bathroom violence, and tentacles. Yay. Listen, I don't do the singing anymore. Blab's a tower turd.
That's right. No more singing. That's right. It ended June 1st. The karaoke bar is closed. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. Read that off real quick. Let them know.
Janice says Mavs in 7.
Let's go. Nothing would make me happier. Nothing. Sorry. It would be a day of celebration here on the show. Hey, you guys want to hear this Mario Kart version? This Mario Kart version of the song?
Sure.
Yeah. You guys, Eric, you a big Mario Kart guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play Mario Kart.
He actually broke a bunch of controllers playing it, so.
Here we go. Check this out.
Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting fucked. Somebody's getting
I love how people think of these things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant, man. That's some good stuff. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds long. And
I feel like I'd go crazy. I wouldn't be able to finish the video.
Sorry.
That's actually Craig's new ringtone.
Yeah.
I don't know if my wife would be good on that one.
It's only for your wife when she calls.
Yeah. I was like, what have I done?
Oh, no.
Or Viper says, English pub food thrashes anything you got.
Oh, okay, Viper. All right.
I've heard English breakfasts are really good. So I'm a breakfast connoisseur. I'd have to try it out, but it looks good. The pictures I've seen. So
I like English breakfast too.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Your English food sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the baked beans.
You ever had a I don't know, a milkshake before or something like that? Maybe French toast? I don't know, some a sausage McGriddle. You ever had that before? Let's go. I'll take my American breakfast over your Sorry. I'm really defensive about American breakfast.
Okay. Master Gao says, we've never forgiven the Russians for fighting so hard against Germany in WW2 because we are ruled by oh my god. All right. Who openly thanks Master Gao. Wrong time, bro. Peter says, look how many kids Marlon Brando had. It's mind-blowing. Didn't he have like a whole litter of them?
Yeah, I was looking up some stuff about him last night. Surprised to see how many kids.
Casually?
Yeah, I was just casually looking up Marlon Brando last night.
What's this guy up to? He hasn't done anything in a while, has he? Let me look up how many kids he has.
There's a new Marlon Brando movie coming out, isn't there?
Well, I mean, because they were using his image and stuff.
Yeah. No, I was just someone made a meme about Marlon Brando showing up to Apocalypse Now like 150 pounds overweight or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, he was kind of fat in that movie. And I looked it up, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's interesting. Then I saw how many kids he had. I went down the Wikipedia rabbit hole.
All right, how many kids did he have?
I don't remember the number. I think it was double digits though, wasn't it?
Double digits. According to DuckDuckGo. It's 11.
Yeah.
11 kids. Yikes.
He needs a hobby.
Had one.
Terrace Chaos says a donation merch goal for Blabs to play Resident Evil 2. No, I don't want to freak out.
Yeah.
Shane says, would say that Hogwarts Legacy was made by the team who made Cars 3, so I'll say they're coming up in the world. Listen, Hogwarts Legacy has a lot of pros in it. I read the whole big-ass book about the making of it, and they really dedicated a lot of it, but still, I don't really like it. I'm sorry. I'm a really critical fan. There it is. Gingerbeard, member for 3 months, says no and no. So what?
Thank you, Gingerbeard. We're missing context there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Viper says, just a normal man loving the show, by the way. Cheers. Thank you,
Love our
Viper.
normal men here. Love our normal men.
Cladex is banned for how long? Forever? Prisons are not forever. Yeah, and isn't that like an invasion of personal privacy? So leaking DMs? I feel like there could be an argument for that. Like, hey, you leaked my DM, you know?
There could probably be a lawsuit there. Yeah.
Right? Like, there could be an argument. I'm saying, like, hey, you're doing this. Now you got me banned for no reason. We weren't even talking in the game. Yeah, I don't know. There could be a whole thing for that.
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous Gamer. That was hard to read on caps. The open sea sounds more and more appealing now, dude. Yeah, but thank you.
Arr, thank you, Anonymous Gamer.
Thrashifice says, in COD, you can't even say the word sweaty. It blocks it. Is that true?
Is that true? I didn't know that. No way.
You just go boot up and be like, sweaty band.
You should try it.
I should. I actually deleted it, and I don't want to download 150 gigs again.
Yeah, it's a really big game.
Yeah.
Tree says, I hate how people try to make JAP a slur. It has World War II history, but it never stuck around. I know Japanese people who say it as short for Japanese. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it short for Japanese too. I don't really think that's a slur, but to each their own. Kissium says, people got banned off of Apex due to a word in their native language sounding like English slurs, like which means run away in Japanese. No. Yeah, Apex is EA, so you know how they are.
EA.
EA Games challenged by everything.
Yeah.
Tons of fun. Says, I haven't played online since Black Ops 3, and I only play single player now. Modern games don't do it for me, and the industry is dead in my mind.
You picked a good one to stop at, my friend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uriah of the House Right says, peak trash talker of all time is low tier god.
Yeah, he's a fighting game guy that yeah, he would be banned in about two minutes in most modern games. So yeah.
SBZ says they'll double Cortana's jawline in the remake in accordance with Soy Nation standards. It's true. She's really ugly already in like the season 2 of the non-canon Halo show. So,
I want to see Cortana looking like Giga Chad in my next Halo game.
Just slowly showing up. Oh, there's Cortana. Just showing up.
Psychotic Mongoose, member for 3 months. Thank you very much. Tons of fun says, if they DEI the new Doom, I'm done with gaming forever. Listen, just go back and play the old stuff that you like. That's all. Have you all heard of hashtag fix2TF2?
Team Fortress 2. Yeah, there's a big bot problem in that game. That's an old school popular Valve multiplayer shooter. Tons of bots. Valve hasn't done anything about it. Sad.
Why is there so many bots though?
No idea. I don't know if people just
Is
nobody
there
really
like
knows.
do you get like currency for playing so much for hats and stuff, or like I don't know.
I've played all but like an hour of TF2 back on the Orange Box days, so I don't really know the ins and outs. But from what I understand, it's just people. It's like trying to ruin the game. There's no real reason. So yeah,
because ruining things is fun.
I guess. Yeah.
Bot farm for off market.
They're made.
If anybody is associated, I'm sorry. If anybody is associated with the hashtag #FixTF2 hashtag out there, like if anybody knows the organizers, I would love to have them on the show. Talk about it. I think that'd be real interesting to kind of hear their grievances and stuff. I mean, I get the idea, but I think it's worth sharing and talking about. So have them reach out. Love to have them on the show.
All right. Kyle says, if Microsoft is really going to release a Halo on PlayStation 5, then it's DOA for Xbox brand. RIP 2001, 2026. Guess we're going back to the 5 gen when it was just Nintendo and Sony. Sorry, Craig, not counting Saturn. All right. Celluloid Dream says, Craig, I'd beat your ass 1v1 snipers, bro.
Oh, man. You're right. You would. Probably with a 360 no-scope. Way to go.
I'm actually good with sniping when I used to play COD. That was like one of my things I used to do, just hide. Anyway, Anonymous Gamer, Project Rome's still on. I can't for the life of me log in, but hopefully they'll notify more folks of his existence. Thank you, Anonymous Gamer.
Don't even know what that is. What's Project Rome?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let us know, chat. Copacetic says, as a PC player, played from the original in 2003, Call of Duty died for me when Modern Warfare released in 2007, when they started making it for consoles. No running your own servers, no custom maps, etc. Honest enough to admit, I'm biased, though, on that front.
That's really old school. Wow. That's really old school.
This isn't old school, though.
This is new school.
That is very new. Very new. Very bouncy.
Thanks
and
for
very...
the 50.
Once again, just slowly.
Sorry.
Copacetic, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Not to be outdone, though, with Copacetic, I'd like to point out that Old School Gamer came in with the $50 Rumble Rant direct donation. Rumble Rant says, Celtics in 5. Old School Gamer, hey, thank you very much for that. Let's get you up on the wall. Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Wow.
It's like a jump scare. Yeah.
We should give this girl some royalties. I'll tell you what.
Looks like she's already got.
Like your take on boobies.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Huh?
What were we saying, Eric?
I think she's already got some royalties.
Yeah. Winterfell. Amazon Prime already remade Halo for modern audiences. It was awful and made me sad.
I've heard bad things. I don't want to watch it. Yeah.
Cody says, I marathon all the Wolfenstein games. Or Wolfenstein, I should say.
I was going to say, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Almost beat Spear of Destiny. What are your thoughts on the series?
Man, I'm weird. I swear to you, I've not played like a Wolfenstein since the first one. I play I've heard they're good. It's just a time thing for me. I haven't played a Doom since Doom 3 because I mean there's a new Call of Duty every year. Where do I find the time? You know what I mean? Like, so I liked the original though when I was a kid.
If you like good story games, Wolfensteins are really good story games for sure. Thanks, appreciate that, Cody.
All right. Peter says it would be funny if we played that clip every time someone gets ratioed.
just go straight into the
Somebody's getting fucked. It's just a vibe, man.
It is.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a perfect time to play that is when somebody is ratioed on X or on YouTube.
I feel like you should play that anytime somebody resets you, Craig, on the Players channel. Somebody's getting fucked. Dan says, I knew this Call of Duty series has gone downhill after Black Ops 2. Thank you, Dan. And Alf5 says, James from Melee Games has been pushing the TF2 thing really hard. He's been urging people to negatively review it. All right. Thank you, Alf5. We're caught up on the
Awesome.
tubes.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate that. Delta came in with the 5. He says, one thing I know of Call of Duty, don't they use Snoop Dogg and Cardi B to promote it? And they've streamed being publicly toxic. Just wondered if they would ban them if they're willing to kill off partnerships like they have. Yeah.
There was an instance of first and foremost, no, because they have no morals. It's all about money. So they wouldn't do that. Nick Merckx. Have you guys heard of the Nick Merckx Call of Duty controversy from last year? Yeah. I pointed out in the video, like, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, like, you can just count their homophobic stuff, on both hands. They've done over the years. Still in the game, still skins. They announced them right after they dropped him. So I'm like, there's no morals. It's just money.
Yep.
It's not morals. It's just money. There you go. Bingo.
That's Activision's motto. No morals, just money.
And like, isn't Snoop Dogg already a character like from like World War II or something, right? Wasn't he already existing in the Call of Duty?
They put him in World War II.
He had a skin, yeah. He had a skin.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yes, Craig. That's what I was saying. Like they broke lore with themselves.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's take a step back. They put Snoop Dogg in World War II.
Yeah.
In the game with the my team versus the enemy team thing, just recently with Vanguard, they made Snoop Dogg a skin, which is honestly probably the best thing about that game, because the rest of it's terrible. So that's probably honest to God, that's probably the funniest thing they did all year. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll be back. I need to research this. Hold on, let's continue.
Well, while you search that, I'll say Dan says nowadays I'm more of a Helldivers 2 fan. Screw Call of Duty.
Helldivers 2, the controversy kind of took the wind out of its sails a little bit.
Yeah.
I still play it with some buddies. I think it's a great game. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hold on. This can't be real.
Yes, it's real.
It's real. Yeah.
And like he exists in modern, like the modern era too, right? So he's there, and it's like, how can you have both, right?
Do they really dress him like this in World War II Call of Duty? Wait, what is this?
Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Just everything about this is hilarious. I mean, I love that map, though, by the way. Yeah, it's a good one. Oh. Wow. This is where we're at with Call of Duty. Wait. When did the guy from Street Fighter? When did Urine from Street Fighter get in the game? Who is this guy?
I think that's Attack on Titan.
Okay, well, it looks like Urine from Street Fighter. Okay,
which to their credit, Attack on Titans, I think World War II or around that ballpark. So they tried with that, but Snoop Dogg, I mean, maybe he had an identical grandfather,
Okay, all right. Well, I mean,
wearing that fur coat.
Yeah.
You can see my people saying Attack on Titan. That's cool. You can see my confusion for this is Urine from Street Fighter.
It does
see the confusion
like
there. All right. Well, holy poop. That's hilarious. Rabbit came in and picked up the American Pride t-shirt. Thank you so much. As I still play Call of Duty, mainly because it's the only FPS with hardcore team deathmatch that me and my friendos play. Thanks, Rabbit. Appreciate your support, and I get it for sure. That's nuts. That is crazy. Everything about that is nuts.
That's another thing they're starting to do with Call of Duty is they will, like, I guarantee you, just watch the timeline here. They will hype up Black Ops 6 and launch it as this like super serious, Gulf War style game. Within 2 months, you're going to see like anime skins and shit in the multiplayer. Mark my words. They do it you're going to see Snoop Dogg again, for the umpteenth time. You're going to see Roseanne Barr or something as a skin. Like, it's just going to get they have no identity, man. Anything that can make them money. They put Cheech and Chong in Modern Warfare 3 just recently. And I'm like, nobody that plays the game still are even old enough to know who these guys are.
Cheech and Chong really resonating with the youth of 2024.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. It's crazy. All right. Well, look, let's go ahead and roll out of here. But first, Kyler came in, says, "You, me, in the movies looks like King Cobra. If Cobes turned out genetically normal and well adjusted, a bit nerdy if anything, and not highly regarded and bogged." All right,
I agree with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never heard of King Cobra until people started saying that.
I
think I look more like the Rabble Wrangler, but that's just me.
True. Good point. Good point. The Rabble Wrangler guy. He's impressive. All right. Let's get out of here. But first, before we do, BT, first time on the show, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you.
YouTube.com/blametruth. And what is my Twitter? I think it's just x.com/notblametruth. I mean,
opposite direction there.
Yeah, some people keep stealing my name. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, just type in my name, Blame Truth, you'll find me. For better or for worse, you'll find me on something. And yeah,
an OG veteran of the craft. I love it. All speaking of OG veterans of the craft, Eric, where can people find you, my friend?
You can find me and my wife watching movies over on You Me the Movies or You Me the TV if you want to watch TV content. Yesterday our video release was our 500th movie review or reaction. Wow. And nice. Tomorrow we'll be watching Dune Part 2 on our channel. So check it out.
Your 500th was So I Married an Axe Murderer?
No, The Descent Part 2. So Monday was our 500th.
Okay.
We watched a movie that I told my wife she'd never have to watch, Descent Part 2, because The Descent Part 1 has some of the best jump scares, and she almost ran out of the room at one point. So I graced her.
Awesome.
Descent Part 2.
Oh, I need to check out Manborg. That sounds great.
That is one of the films of all time. Yeah.
one of the films, huh? Love it. All right.
It's a movie.
It's one of the films. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go find Blabs over on her YouTube channel. You can find me over on the Side Scrollers Plays channels Monday, Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays when I'm playing old school games and making fart jokes like Dan Bath does. With that said, appreciate you guys popping in. Let people know that the show happens every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time here on the channel. Do us a favor. Tell a friend. We'd really appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeehaw!